So, Mark, did you see that Vegas Vic? He's been shut off for a while on Fremont Street. We know Vegas Vicky, she's beautiful inside Circa, but finally the city of Las Vegas is coming in to enforce their rules, and hopefully we'll get Vegas Vic lit up once again.
Yeah, they need to get like Derek Stevens on it or something, because what Circa did was amazing. And it'd be really cool if he looked that good. I'm sure the city won't spend as much as Circa did, but come on, you guys can do it. It would be cool to see it all lit up again, even though you have to go at Fremont at night. We should make shirts that say like, "I mark myself safe on Fremont Street past midnight."
Okay. All right, Mark, let's start this show with a rumor that I was very skeptical of at first, but as I look into it even more, it seems like it's more and more plausible. And that's the Jubilee Tower at Horseshoe, the old Bally's, getting converted into being part of Paris. And Vital Vegas sort of broke this rumor, although he says that it's sort of imminent that this is going to happen. When he did, I went back and looked at the concept art of Horseshoe, and I thought that there was a version of the concept art that had the Jubilee Tower with the brown paint and the new, Horseshoe name, but it does not exist. And so they have never released any art showing that tower as part of it. And it does sit right next to Paris, kind of detached from most of Horseshoe anyway. Do you buy that this is going to happen?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. The buildings are very close, and he puts a mock-up on his article of where the bridge could go and stuff. And it makes a lot of sense. One, Bally's casino is on the smaller end, like very small. So I don't even think they need that many rooms. Paris is a much bigger casino. I think it's usually busier. They get better rates there. So if you could take this one, tower and move it over to a place that you're going to make more money, it makes a ton of sense. They're going to have to revamp it and update it. But the fact that they haven't painted it or put any signage on it definitely looks weird. I don't think they were Circa and they ran out of money painting the top. So I hope not. I hope that's not the reason. You never know. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. The rates, I think, are really the key, what you said. Paris draws in higher rates. What's interesting, though, is the Jubilee Tower was renovated, I think, back in 2013. And then the other tower, the main tower, was renovated a few years later to look very similar. So the rooms do look very similar. So I do think they would have to do some renovations to make it part of it. The architecture would also be something that I think they would have to address because it doesn't really match the Paris theme at all. It has more of a modern look, especially compared to the towers at Paris. He did say maybe they would convert some of the rooms into Bellagio fountain view rooms, although the stairwell sits on that, strip side of the building. So maybe they are going to really reconstruct the outside of the building and do a lot of work to make it look more Parisian. So I think on one end, I hope that they do this right if they're going to do it. And I think it does make a lot of sense. And I do think they would get higher room rates. And if they're going to have to spend money to renovate that tower, they probably will get it back through the room rates. But this is an interesting one.
Do you think whoever put the stairs there, like as soon as the Bellagio fountains were built, they're like, fire that guy. Whoever designed this building and put stairs facing the strip where we could have been making a ton of money, let's fire that guy. We should put the stairs in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who envisioned that they were going to build the Bellagio fountain since it predates all of that? But yeah, let us know what you guys think about this because the more I look into it, the more it seems very plausible. As you say, and I'll throw up some video on the screen of what it's going to look like.
Drink!
of that area where the bridge would potentially get built. They could potentially build a bridge across to the pool area as well, which sits kind of above the casino, and maybe one down to the casino. So we'll see how they do all of that, if they do all of that. But for now, that tower just sits there with the faded Bally sign removed. It looks really ugly.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, but hopefully it's not there too long. But I'm happy. Like Paris is probably my favorite mid-tier property. Of what you get, the restaurants, the inside of the casino, the feel of it, and the rooms are pretty nice too. So it definitely, if you're adding more rooms to one of the better value properties I think out there for that mid-tier level, then it's good for me. So hopefully they do it right and they don't do it cheap. But we don't know. It is Caesars.
So as we record this, the U2 tickets are on sale. I wasn't lucky enough to get selected for Verified Fan. I probably should have become a U2.com member in order to get tickets. But our friend Benji got tickets this morning, said even the $400 and $500 seats are not really great. They're towards the ends. But anyway, just after we recorded our last show, and the day after they announced the first 5 shows, they added 7 more shows. this is a very typical thing in the concert industry to sort of build up hype, saying, oh, due to overwhelming demand, we added more shows. These were always scheduled. They just decided to release them, 2 days
The fake
apart.
encore.
Yeah, exactly. So they added October 11th, 13th, 14th, 18th, 20th, 21st, and 25th. This makes a lot more sense compared to those just 5 shows that they announced. Ticket prices were $140 all the way up to $600. But like I said, I think those 140 are very limited. Most of them are in the high range, and they said over 1 million people registered for Ticketmaster verified fans. So I think this is a good sign for MSG Sphere if they can continue this level of ticket sales and hype, because I believe U2 is going to sell out pretty quickly.
Can we save the people from that YouTube promo video we used on the last video? It was like, I feel like seizures happened all over the place. It was pretty, a lot going on there, a lot of flashing, a lot of lights. I don't know what the goal was there with that one, but no, it's good to see, because, we've talked about how much it costs to build these shows and how they have to make a unique show specifically for the Sphere. So it didn't make a lot of sense to do all this work for only 5 shows. So, now with all these added shows, and hopefully they even add more like the following year or something like that. Because once you have something built out for it, you think you'd want to take advantage of it as much as possible. Especially when, what are they getting, like 90% of the door, which is just insane to me still.
Yeah, that's right. They're making a ton of money off of this. I forgot about that. Yeah, they did say that. There was a report of that. I don't know that it's been confirmed, but U2's getting a lot of money for this. There was a video on YouTube too, and I'll put a link in the description of U2 touring the Sphere, so you get some good looks inside of it. So if people are interested in that, we're getting more and more information, but it's getting exciting. It's coming soon, just a few months away.
Did you get your movie tickets yet, or what?
No, somebody roasted me in the comments, says, you can write it off, so what are you doing? I need to do that.
True.
I should have just done it the first day because I could have got the best seats, but I'll try to dig in there. I will go. Since I didn't get U2 tickets, that's sort of what I was hoping to get. Now I'll settle for the $150 movie. From crazy expensive entertainment to free entertainment, Fremont Street has released the lineup for their summer concert series, which is completely free, and they always have some good names on there. I think we have Smash Mouth, Soulja Boy, Gin Blossoms, All American Rejects, quite a few other bands, running May 28th through October 28th. So I guess it's more than just the summer, but free concerts on Fremont Street, always a good time.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the list of what they have coming. I probably knew half the names just off the top of my head. And I think it's really perfect for people in that 35 to 45 age range. I think it's a lot of like late 90s, early 2000 bands that you grew up with. And so I would be super excited about it. If I lived in the area, I'd probably go to quite a few of them, and brave Fremont Street and come out alive. But no, I think it'll be a fun summer. And I love that it goes through October, because that's when it's getting a little cooler, like peak July. I don't know if I want to be standing out there, but as you get into late September, early October, I think that's going to be perfect weather.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that they're keeping this going. They've been doing these for a long time, and they always get some good bands. Like you say, some of it's nostalgic, but, some big name bands from back in the day, always good. Staying on Fremont Street, Circa is bringing back their all-in hotel package. For $300, you get 2 nights, $50 Legacy Club credit, reserve seating at Stadium Swim, $75 food and beverage credit, $25 match play. Now, the $300 includes your taxes and resort fees. I think when you go to do this package, the room rate's like $97, $98 a night. Most of the nights available are going to be, at that price, are going to be during the week, although I found many weeks available through the summer with this package. So I think if you want to experience Circa, this is about as cheap as it's going to get. You get all those little freebies thrown in, reserved seating at Stadium Swim, heated pools. I think, I don't know if you need the heated pools in the summer, but yeah, I think this is a good deal.
You want to roast the people out there? You want to boil them? But no, yeah, if you have never been to Circa especially, I think this is a great deal, because you're checking all the boxes. You're getting into Legacy Club at a discount. You're getting the Circa Swim and seats and all that stuff, or Stadium Swim. So that's, everything you want to hit when you first go to Circa, you're getting at a discounted rate or included in the package. And the room rate with resort fees and taxes and everything, like, even if you just look at it that way, $150 a night just to stay at Circa, I think is a really good deal compared to what normally price is at.
Yeah, and Circa is one of my favorite hotels in Las Vegas. So it's not just that you're getting a deal to stay there. The rooms are very like old school Vegas, but very kind of high-end, luxurious. They're not quite up to like Wynn levels, but they're very nice for downtown Las Vegas. And the location there can't be beat. Plaza's in the middle of their renovations. They're getting ready to open a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot happening down there. Certainly worth doing it. And as you say, Legacy Club, $50 credit, probably good for 2 cocktails. So you know, it's a little bit there. $75 food and beverage, you can get a few things there. Prices aren't cheap, but yeah, it's cool to see that. And maybe you can turn that $25 match play into something bigger to pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, and you really liked the steakhouse when you went there too, right?
Yeah, I really did like Barry's Downtown Prime. It's very expensive, strip level prices, but the food there is really good. So this could be a discount towards that. But they also have, you know, Victory Burger. They have other restaurants there, the deli.
Saginaw Deli, baby.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Lake Mead we know is low, right? But we've had a lot of like rain and snow, and the levels have been a little bit better this year. But what's happened over the years is the water level's gone down. I guess the sediment and everything has sort of washed away from the shores. So this week they're releasing tons of water from Lake Powell down to Lake Mead, so much so that Lake Powell is going to drain by about 4.5 feet. Although they're not releasing more water than they normally do, they're just doing it in a concentrated amount so that they're hoping to kind of wash everything back to the shores and reinforce the shoreline. So I guess that's an interesting thing. They said if you're going to be on the river during this, you may want to, like, this is going to be good rapids time, right?
Yeah, you just changed from a category 3 to a category 5 or however that works. But no, I love the sediment, like, and this is how they treat the water in Vegas. So what are we talking about floating in there? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. And it's cool to see the pumps kind of going. And like I said, if you want to get out there and do the wild river, this is the time to do it because they're releasing a lot, about twice as much water as they normally do in volume in a short period of time. So March 2023 visitor numbers came in, Mark, and they're very interesting. To start, the airport had its second busiest month ever following last October, and that's because of the NCAA championships. You had Taylor Swift, you had Maroon 5 here, a bunch of other entertainment things going on. But visitor volume was down just 1.1% from 2019, 3.655 million people. So, you know, we'll start there. People are still coming in numbers, and basically Vegas has recovered numbers-wise, but we'll see that revenue is significantly higher than it was before.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see, you know, the airport at record levels, but the overall visitors compared to 19 to be down. So I'm guessing less people driving in maybe, and maybe there's a little bit of California fatigue finally hitting, you think, after all the COVID years where they came and flocked to Vegas. Do you think they're getting a little bit, maybe all the construction backing up that drive, making it terrible? But I wonder if that's the writing on the wall a little bit. What do you think?
Well, there's still a lot of people who fly in from California too. I mean, I think 5 or 6 airlines run daily flights. There's, you know, dozens and dozens of daily flights. But yeah, I mean, there are those choke points on the freeway coming between Los Angeles and Vegas. Obviously, Brightline is trying to capitalize on that by building their rail line, which we talked about on the last show. So I think so. The numbers were down a little bit for vehicle traffic, but not significantly. One other interesting thing was conventions were way up, 771,000. That's up 56% from last year and up 39.6% from March of 2019. And there was a couple of big conventions, but yeah, conventions come back.
I heard Vegas conventions were dead.
Yeah, somebody said that on Twitter, but we're not going to call them out for that. No, I mean, that was part of the Venetian rumor, right? That, you know, that the convention space wasn't as good as they had thought, and that's why perhaps Apollo was looking to sell it, but we don't know. But convention numbers are up. But let's talk about revenue, because there are some very interesting numbers here. RevPAR, revenue per available room, a new record, $188.30. Now that's up 43% from last year, up 53.6% from 2019. And then the average daily rate, which is another record, $213, and that's up 30.7% from last year, up 59.2% from 2019. So crazy
nuts.
numbers. People are spending like bananas.
I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't get it. You know, everything's costing more. I get inflation and all that, but we're not talking about 60% inflation over the last couple of years. But just, you know, inflation takes money out of your pocket for every other thing when you're buying eggs and all that stuff. So, like, where is this disposable income coming from? Are people still sitting on cash piles from when they were at home during COVID? I don't know, but it blows my mind every time we do these numbers that they're still charging it and people are still paying it.
Yeah, it seems like every month we do them, these hotel prices are just going up and up and up. And, we're still seeing record gaming revenue. Gaming revenue was down just a little bit, down 2.9% from last year, but still up 31.3% from 2019. So a little bit less gaming revenue, significantly more hotel revenue, 25th straight month with $1 billion in gaming revenue in Clark County.
Insane. That's just, yeah. I mean, last year was kind of like record-breaking year, so being down slightly doesn't really surprise me. But when you look at compared to like normal times, pre-COVID, the growth is just crazy. And we have been kind of like pushing away from the focus of gambling in Vegas, and now, it's just funny how things go in cycles. Now gaming is the big dog back again.
Yeah, and it's just a different demographic mix, perhaps why you see a little bit of a decline. You probably have less tourists. You have all those conventioneers. They tend to gamble less, so that could be why you have slightly less, but not a significant bad thing, because this is really, like I said, so much higher than it was before COVID. A couple other interesting things. Laughlin, their visitors are down 32.7% from 2019, but their gaming revenue is only down 1.9%. So it shows you people are gambling more, but 1/3 less visitors going to Laughlin in March 2023 compared to 2019. Mesquite, very similar, although the numbers are crazy. Mesquite's visitors are down 32.4% from 2019, but their gaming revenue is up 33.2%. So you talk about
the whales.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. And now, Laughlin, just to see that kind of drop in visitors is pretty crazy. And that's one thing, when I come in December, I really want to check out that. It's like the number one goal, that, and go out and hit some other areas off the strip. But Laughlin's a big one that I want to go see, just because, I don't know, I want to go see a river and with casinos on it, I guess. I don't know, I think it's just kind of like unique, something different, not far from Vegas, but a totally different vibe, and I'm all for it.
I hope it doesn't disappoint you. I'm
gonna hang out with the scooter crowd. We're gonna have a good time. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was really great in the 1980s. But Don Laughlin, I think the guy's like almost 100. The guy who founded the town, I think he still lives on the penthouse of his casino there. I think he's like pushing 100 at this point. So yeah, good old Laughlin. And finally, let's finish with this. Did you see this picture? Vital Vegas shared it. It seems like Fontainebleau sent it to him, but this is the first time we're seeing a finished inside space of Fontainebleau. And man, does it look 2023. It looks modern, and I think it looks stunning.
What about that carpet, though?
I like the carpet. I do.
Yeah. No, it looks great. I mean, it looks just as good as anything else I've seen in Vegas. I think they nailed the color scheme, higher ceilings, bright, good lighting, all that stuff. So if that's what the rest of it looks like, yeah, give me more. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, even like the font on the sign, just everything. I'm looking at it right here again, just to kind of keep it fresh in my mind. It has sort of the gold touches on the walls. Like that gray, sort of deep gray carpet. It just feels very luxurious. I love the blue paneling on the walls, and as you said, the high ceilings. But even the font on this, and everything about this works for me. I don't know how Vegas this is going to feel, more like a very high-end luxurious hotel. So hopefully they do put some Vegas type touches in it. But it does feel far less generic to me than something like Resorts World.
Yeah, and it's taken 20 years, so it better be perfect.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I see somebody mention Fontainebleau and it's opening on social media, people who haven't been keeping up with it say, "Oh, they've been saying that's going to open for 20 years." I'll stake my reputation. It's going to open. So
I can't wait for all the corrections of how we're saying Fontainebleau wrong. So I'm excited for that.
Here, I'll just say it wrong for everybody who thinks it's wrong. Fontainebleau. There you go. Now for everybody who thinks we said Fontainebleau wrong, I'll just say Fontainebleau to make you happy. But it is Fontainebleau.
There you go.
And let's end the show on that. Let's discuss all this. What do you think about Fontainebleau and what it looks like? Those Vegas visitor numbers, U2 and the Sphere, those tickets, the demand, all of this stuff. Let's discuss it down in the comments. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in just a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Going to the Lions draft party tonight, so hopefully I'm not angry tomorrow.
Now that the Packers got rid of Rodgers, maybe the Lions have a chance to win the division.
Oh, burn.